Here is something worth thinking about. If you traveled back in time to the year 107 AD, just a few decades after the last apostle died, and walked into a Christian church, what would you find? No sola scriptura, no individual Bible interpretation, no just me and Jesus. What you would find looks a lot like a Catholic Mass. Here is what the early Christians actually did. In Acts chapter 2, verse 42, Luke tells us the very first Christians devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and fellowship, to the breaking of bread and the prayers. The breaking of bread, that is the Eucharist. That is Mass. That is what the church did from day one. And Jesus told them to do exactly that. In John chapter 6, verse 51, he said, "I am the living bread that came down from heaven. Whoever eats of this bread will live forever, and the bread that I will give for the life of the world is my flesh." That is not symbolic language. The early Christians knew it, and they taught it. Ignatius of Antioch was a direct disciple of the Apostle John. He became Bishop of Antioch and wrote his letters in 107 AD, on his way to martyrdom in Rome. This is what he wrote to the church at Smyrna: "Let no man do anything connected with the church without the bishop. Let that be deemed a proper Eucharist, which is administered either by the bishop or by one to whom he has entrusted it. Wherever the bishop shall appear, there let the multitude also be, even as wherever Jesus Christ is, there is the Catholic Church." There it is, the word Catholic, the office of bishop, the Eucharist tied to apostolic authority, written in 107 AD, written by a man who learned the faith directly from an apostle. Now here's what's interesting. Paul told Timothy exactly this structure was coming. In 1 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5, he lays out the qualifications for a bishop, an office responsible for caring for God's church. And Jesus himself set this in motion at the very end of Matthew's Gospel, chapter 28, verses 19 and 20. "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything that I have commanded you." Teaching, baptizing, obeying, structured authority passing on what Christ commanded. That is not Protestantism. That is Catholicism, and the history backs it up. Share this with someone asking questions about the church, and follow for more Catholic content that goes straight to the source.